So what you were looking at there is Travis Scott selling 60,000 tickets in a foreign stadium. That's what you were just looking at. So we're going to be talking about him and Boston Richey a little bit. And there's going to be an overarching message, but we're just going to discuss him first. So boom, we're in a post-pandemic world, or we're still kind of in a pandemic in 2021. Guess what happens? You know, they let everybody out. They let everybody out. So Cass is doing their things. We could get back in big crowds and stuff like that. Travis Scott throws a concert. I can't remember where it was, doesn't matter. But at that concert, people start going crazy, and a few people unfortunately die. A lot of people get injured. It's a lot of trampling, et cetera, et cetera. They had to shut the concert down. Even though there are clips of him saying, yo, go help that woman and stuff like that, somebody had to be held accountable. So why not hold the artist whose concert it is accountable for all this damage that is done? Everybody was upset at Travis Scott. Everybody was wagging their finger at Travis Scott. He was canceled. He was canceled. That was supposed to be it. It was supposed to be, oh, man, his career is over. Oh, man, just forget it. The media was on him so crazy. That was in 2021. But guess what? He laid low. He laid low for a year, if not 2 years. Somewhere in 2023, he drops his album, and guess what? He dropped the biggest album of the year in hip hop. I haven't seen first week numbers like that in quite a while, especially from somebody that's not Drake. That is insane. When we have the big three conversation, you got to make him a heavy candidate to take J. Cole's spot, because J. Cole's spot is up for grabs. You might throw Nicki in there. You might somebody's got to take that spot. He shouldn't have that spot no more. So with that being said, as far as this, what is going on with this? The point of me bringing this up, you just seen he sold out a 60,000 person stadium. He sold 60,000 tickets, bro. 60,000 for one show. They're going ballistic in the crowd. Yes, it's foreign, but he also sold 400,000 in the States, in the United States. And one thing that I figured out, because this cancel culture stuff started probably around 2016 to 18, somewhere in that ballpark with all the Me Too stuff. Probably a little bit before that, because I think they were canceled, whatever. But cancel culture is fake. Cancel culture, for the most part, is fake. Now, when we talk about regular people with regular jobs and stuff like that, you know, oh, yeah, you could get fired from your job. But just like how Travis Scott laid low and bounced back, you know, that stuff that happened with you on the internet, that's probably going to go by the wayside at some point. I'll give you a perfect example. There's a producer, his name is like J.R. Lucas or something like that. He said some racist stuff during the Black Lives Matter stuff, and he really got cooked. He got crapped on. You know what's funny? I have a video about him early in this channel's development when I used to get on screen and stuff. So you can go and do a bunch of scrolling and you'll see a video of me talking about this white dude who got at the Black Lives Matter like president and was saying all types of wild stuff about black people getting killed by cops. He was a hip hop producer, man. He was a hip hop producer. When that happened, he was canceled. Guess what? But I'm somebody, I actually produce. Like, so I make beats and stuff. I have a whole nother channel. Like, I make beats, whatever. This is somebody who, in the producer community, he already had controversial opinions when it came to race and just different things in general. where it was like he rubbed a lot of people the wrong way in general. He was on a producer grind episode that you can find. And yeah, he rubbed the host the wrong way with some of the stuff he was saying. So he already had been like toting the line a little bit on some reckless stuff. But he went overboard on a bigger scale during the George Floyd stuff, saying some negative stuff about black people getting killed and stuff like that. And then went in on, the head of Black Lives Matter. And then a bunch of black celebrities got on live with him and all types of stuff, talking about him and talking to him, et cetera, having debates, whatever. The woman from Black Lives Matter said, I am going to make it my mission to make sure wherever you pop up, whatever you got going on, I am going to make sure that you don't work with no black people again. I'm going to get you out of hip hop. Listen, I guess it worked for that year because he was out of here, bro. He was out of here. I even made a video about him because I didn't like what he said and stuff like that. We got to get him out of here. I looked up probably last year. So George Floyd, you remember that was like some 2021, 2020 stuff, whatever year it was. 2023, this dude popped back up. He on Instagram drinking protein shakes, giving motivational speeches, and guess what? He's back to working with niggas again. He's back to working with niggas again. There's going to be an overarching point at the end of this video, but the thing about Travis Scott, the thing about J.W. Lucas I think it's J.W. Lucas, the thing about the baby, the thing about Tory shooting Meg, when it comes down to it, cancel culture, as far as people who are in certain industries like the entertainment industry, it is just not real. It is just not real. That stuff doesn't stick. And we'll get to why a bit later, but let's move on to Boston Richey. So Boston Richey is out of Florida. He had a song with Future. I think he was signed to Free Bands. I don't care enough to check. Let me say it again. I don't care enough to check, but pretty sure he is out of Florida. So boom. Bubbling career. He got a song that was a hit with Future saying, like, if Jigga wasn't my nigga, I'd probably get after B. He probably said something about Russell Wilson, got it out the field, fuck Russell, whatever he said in that song. So it was a big song for like 2022 as far as Boston Richey. January 2023, not only do snitching allegations drop, but the audio comes out. Guess what comes out after the audio of him snitching? The video of him snitching comes out. It's supposed to be over, right? It's supposed to be over. You can't be a street rapper and snitch. It's supposed to be over. You're supposed to be done. Nobody is rocking with you because we care about the streets and we just all of the street stuff. Like, we just street dudes, right? We all care about people snitching, right? Well, that was January 2023. As I'm making this video, it is June 2024, a year and a half later. Excuse me, it's actually July. But listen, you see on the screen it says Real Boston Richey single Help Me is now in Apple Music's top 25 in 7 major cities and #1 in Atlanta. Atlanta. You also got to remember Future pretty much rebuked him after that. After the allegations came out, they rebuked him. Now, I'm going to be honest. I'm going to be very honest. There was a rapper named Pop Hunter. Pop Hunter, who actually, told on somebody when he was like 12 to 14, somewhere in that ballpark. And he had like, the brand new coupe just hopped in with Lil Uzi. And he's from Philly. And he was blackballed from the industry after they found out that he snitched at a young age. And it just hasn't worked out for him since. He didn't get the leverage he needed as far as getting a few songs in and getting the tape. That information came out when his first song dropped. But when we go, so as far as him, that is how you expect it to work out, right? The question you got to ask is, maybe his music wasn't that good. Maybe he just wasn't meant to be a star for real. Because Boston Richey, a year and a half later, catches these, songs or catches, a song that's really trending and stuff like that. He's doing pretty good. It's not a hit, but it's streaming very well. So you could say it's like a hood hit or a cultural hit, whatever you want to say. It's a hit in the South or whatever it is. Now, this is the thing outside of just that. You have Gunna in a YSL case, who I don't think that he snitched, but people think that he snitched and he's supposed to be done, right? Well, he caught fuck you mean, and that went crazy, right? It went crazy. You then have 6ix9ine, who actually went to jail and actually snitched. Like, it's not even debatable. He got out and he's so crazy, and guess what? He's having man, come on, man. Even with the snitching, they absolutely love him in the Caribbean, in all the Hispanic countries in South America. They absolutely love him. He's a superstar down there, bro. He is a superstar over there, even though he undoubtedly snitched. But then you have somebody who doesn't even rap, somebody that we had no idea who this guy was. YSL Woody. YSL Woody gets on the stand and makes a mockery of the court. And one of the things was, I think he agreed to being an informant and stuff like that. And then, like, when it came to, take the stand, he was just acting really silly. He was just acting really silly. And guess what? He's not in jail. He's actually free right now. He still be in his hood with a lot of money. I've seen it on camera, him around a bunch of people showing a bunch of money, and nobody was going to do nothing to him. That shows you, if he was a snitch and that was a hood he's from, like, you would think that it would be something crazy. So he might not have snitched. I don't really know, but that's the word on social media that he did, But even with all of that, people have come to love this cat's personality and how funny he is. He's doing 20v1s. He's doing the balloon challenge. He's doing all types of YouTube videos, entertainment, etc., etc. He's actually become a social media celebrity/star with a lot of traction and stuff like that, just because of how silly he was on the stand. We didn't even know this guy at all. I don't care how much money he made before. We, as the country, did not know this guy before. Now we know him. So when it comes to that last thing, the point is, when it comes to people snitching and stuff like that, and that being something that's supposed to get them out the game, that's just not how it works anymore. I could even speak on, and this is real. No, I'm not a street guy or nothing like that. But if you're in the streets, you know this is true. I don't know if it's true in your city, but it's true in a lot of cities. People pick and choose when it comes to the snitches and stuff like that, who they accept and et cetera, et cetera. So there are some people who, they're not popular, they're not accepted, they're not family. And when they snitch, everybody on them and people want to kill them, or even in the streets just don't want to rock with them at all no more. But it's some people who are very popular, who have a lot of status, who, have a lot of favor, who a lot of people love in the hood and stuff like that. And this is one of the big keys. They get a lot of money and they plugged in. And they still plugged in even after the snitching. Those people will still get a lot of love. Nobody will care. Nobody will care. And this is the overarching point as far as what Boston Richey and Travis Scott have in common. What it is, and you can mention this for all of the people that I've mentioned. If you provide exceptional value, or if you are somebody that people favor a lot, if they like you a lot, then there's really no way that you'll be finished. If we're talking about the court of public opinion and your image and how you look and things of that nature, if you provide exceptional value and slash or people love you, there's nothing that can take you out the game. You want to know something that's crazy that I think about as an adult? When I was a kid, R. Kelly had that trial going on as far as him messing with the kids, right? There were grown men selling DVDs of his sex tape with an underage woman. In the streets, in the hoods, everywhere, the FBI didn't crack down and get on a pedophilia or nothing like that, right? So people actually seen this stuff. Adults were actually buying this, they actually seen it, and this guy is a pervert. When people go to jail and they got that on their jacket, they are the scum of the earth. These dudes try to get the Chesters out of here, right? These dudes, as far as the pedophiles, they be on Family Watchdog and stuff, right? And they are just pretty much outcasts in society. That's how it works today. I'm pretty sure that's how it worked even in the 2000s, even though there wasn't no Family Watchdog. When people figured out that you were one of those, like it was a wrap for you. But it wasn't a wrap for R. Kelly. He did Ignition. He did Same Girl with Usher. He did so many joints. It just didn't matter to anybody because he was making great music. He made Step in the Name of Love. He made some of his best music during and after that trial. And people absolutely loved him for it. They loved him before the trial. They loved him during the trial, but the love grew during the trial and especially after the trial because the music was just sweeping everything. So when you look at somebody like R. Kelly who did something that heinous, you can go over to Tory Lanez, who we can't even say allegedly because he was guilty, shot a chick in the foot. Even though there was no bullet wound, the bullet fragments count as a shot. He said that he didn't do it. And then even then, this is what happened. He began to taunt her in his raps. But you have to remember, this dude let out an album that was on like whatever that, it was some technology that people don't really care about anymore. It wasn't Bitcoin, but it was something on the Bitcoin type of network. He sold the album, he sold 1 million copies in like 1 minute. Nobody has done that. Nobody has done that. He went crazy with it. He went crazy. People loved him that much. Now he's in jail, so the court of public opinion doesn't matter when it comes to jail, but people loved him enough for him to blow up even more after shooting this chick in the foot. You got people still coming up to Meg. Somebody came up to Meg in the past week, actually this week, and said free Tory on camera. They put the camera phone up to her as she was passing and said free Tory. I could go on and on about this, but we're going to hit the grand one right here. Donald Trump. Doesn't matter if he says, I grabbed her by the pussy. Doesn't matter that he's paying for coochie through Stormy Daniels. Doesn't matter that he said that the election was fixed and it wasn't fixed. Doesn't matter what, I could keep going, that he had the people storm the Capitol and stuff like that. Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. None of it. Anything that you think matters. Let me tell you something, because some of y'all too young and y'all don't remember this. I don't remember the guy's name. There was a guy, and this is during the Bush administration, and this is after 9/11 and for the, like, I guess it was a '04 election. They were trying to find a right Democrat. There was a guy who was a shoo-in. He was great. He was at one of his first conferences, bro. And remember, this is 2004. Matter of fact, this is before 2000. So this is like '03 or something like that. '03 or '04. This dude gets the crowd riled up. And all he does is say, yeah. And he swings his arm. He gets too hype. The man, as far as a politician, him getting too hype and swinging his arm and saying, yeah, that lost him support. That lost him the candidacy. They thought he wasn't fit to run the country because he got too excited when the crowd was excited. So before Trump, everybody really had to be tight in the ass. Everybody had to be clenching their cheeks and just be real on point. No, did he? When they were doing all their speeches and everything, they couldn't show too much emotion. They had to smile. They had to be the perfect people. Donald Trump is the complete, like, everything that he does and he represents for the most part is unlike that of a politician. He does not have to be as reserved as a politician. Him doing it, there's damn near nothing he could do that would make him lose supporters. But when you look at it from him being like on Home Alone and just being a popular billionaire in like the 80s and early 90s, all the way up to him doing The Apprentice and things of that nature. And then when he actually got on his campaign trail, he finally had the sauce after doing so much Obama hate. You couldn't really take down Obama when Obama was actually in office. Now you have an open, like, there are a lot of people who hate Obama. There are a lot of people who love you. And you've been cultivating. You've done all this business. You know people. You know how to be a lovable personality. He won the people over. And once he won, because a lot of the people that he won was the racist Obama haters and stuff like that. And this is just me being real. Once he had them locked in, it's nothing that anybody could do to stop them from supporting him or sway their support or anything. It doesn't matter that he said, I just grab him by the pussy. It doesn't matter. He can't do anything that would make them stop supporting him. I could go a step further and even talk about people like, well, what company was it? Was it Gucci? Yeah, it was Gucci that did, like, they did the disparaging things about black people as far as, like, some of their advertisements or whatever. Then you got H&M, who had the monkeys and stuff like that, the black kids as the monkeys and stuff or whatever. All these companies have to do is apologize. Papa John's. The owner said we used to drag, Negroes on the back of our cars in Indiana. He said that in a meeting. Some wild stuff. Guess what? He gets Shaq. They get Shaq. A black guy, Shaq. Famous black guy. To tap dance for Papa John's. Amidst the crisis. They get him out of there as far as, I think his name is John Shatner, the Papa John's mascot guy. They get him out of there. And guess what? They get Shaq in there. They even give Shaq stock in the company. And now Shaq a non-Italian African American is tap dancing to get this piece off. He's going to colleges. He's going to HBCUs, handing niggers pizza. But all it takes is one apology. That's all it takes is an apology, just a little bit of action. And if black people in this situation love your product, if they love what you provide, if they absolutely love what you're doing, that little bump in the road is not going to stop them from buying your product. If they really love it, if they really think that you have a good product, if your product is high status enough to where they still think, me coming in with this Gucci and all this stuff is going to be, it's still going to win people over, et cetera, et cetera. So that's what it is. So with that being said, that is the point. You get the point when it comes to all of this. Again, if you provide value, high value, and people love you, you can do no wrong in their eyes. You'll get your career back, all that good stuff, man. Let me know your thoughts. I'm out.